Let's talk politics now. The supporting resident electoral commissioner in charge of Ado, Irepodun, Ifelodun Local Government areas of Ekiti, Professor Samuel Egwu, has confirmed the receipt of sensitive and non-sensitive materials from INEC's head office. Our correspondent Sarah Ayeku reports that INEC and its ad hoc staff have started distributing these materials to the 8 registration area, which will be activated today.
Amid complaints from some ad hoc staff of the Independent National Electoral Commission, the electoral umpire is appealing to its staff to uphold the Commission's code of conduct, professionalism, and firmly resist any unethical behavior during Saturday's governorship election.
For this election, INEC had deployed 4 national commissioners and 8 resident electoral commissioners drawn from other states. And of course, they are here scattered across the various 16 local government areas of Ekiti State. But the issue now is for the ad hoc staff, some of which had gone for the training, for a 3-day training. Some of them are not seeing their names on the list.
Most of them confused, standing around INEC's office in Ado local government area of the state. Having trained for 3 days, pre-election day, they're here with their bags ready for the election, but they get a shocker. The names on the phone do not correspond with the long list on the walls of this building. And if their names are not there, they cannot be posted to any of the 344 polling units in Ado. Ms. Fomilayo is one of them. She alleges there are discrepancies on the list.
So surprised I did not see my name there, and I don't know what to do now. Even those that did not even come for the training, their names appeared there, and they are even underage. So I don't know what to do about this situation.
For those whose name are on the list, refresher training will be conducted for the presiding officers and core members.
At the end of their training, they had to pass through a test. And those that we are going to deploy are those who were able to measure up to the INEC standard. INEC will not compromise on ad hoc staff. So the message should go to those who are tempted to compromise our ad hoc staff, that this game has to be played in full respect of the rules.
Observers are watching keenly to see if the numbers and participation of the electorate at campaign rallies will justify the eventual number of votes cast on election day.
How INEC conducts its activities today will signpost what we should look forward to in 2023 general election. This is a litmus test for INEC, and one hopes that they've crossed all their I's and dotted their T's. So we are very, very hopeful that INEC being what they are, that they will live up to the billing, that will have an election that will tell us that, look, Nigerians, we have taken a leap forward with regards to elections.
According to INEC, this will be historic because it will be the first governorship election to be conducted based on the provisions of the new Electoral Act 2022. Sarah Ayeku, TVC News, Ado, Ekiti State.
Preparations for the Ekiti State governorship election. Let's talk to a member, Committee for the Defense of Human Rights, Sinon Loremikon. He joins us live from Ado Ekiti. INEC is again in focus 7 months after the Anambra governorship election, and this is the first governorship election where the newly amended Electoral Act will now be in full effect. Talk to us about your observation on the ground, particularly as regards the news of ad hoc staff having difficulties finding their names on the published list.
Thank you very much. It's somehow shocking and another blacksiding if the names cannot be found for people who have already been trained for a national assignment of this nature. Also, about yesterday, we observers were also shocked when we find out that contrary to the practice in the past, where T-shirts, apron, or face cap is given to observer to make you visible while on the field, we were told now that observers will only be having identity card, a bold one that you can put on your chest, no reflector jackets, no face cap, and that makes you to be more vulnerable to harassment or attack. You may not easily be identified with among the crowd who you are. It's also painful that even the identity card is the type that is not laminated. We only pray there won't be a rainfall tomorrow, and you don't have body sweat. If you have excess body sweat or a rainfall, the identity may fall off on you. It's so worrisome that this was a new outcome we are noticing from INEC. In the past, they are not like that.
Mr. Shino,
you have something to add. I'm with you.
You don't seem to have anything to worry about from the reports of how heavily the police has mobilized its personnel for this particular exercise. We're told over 17,000 policemen and quite a number of senior officers. Don't you find some solace and some confidence in what the military personnel have been talking about?
Sincerely, when you look at the caliber of officers and their competence, you will say there is no cause for alarm. I have known the Assistant Inspector General of Police, Okumo, for a very long time, and I know he's a fine officer. But you see, this issue goes beyond one person. At our own interactive section, led by a Deputy Commissioner of Police, we made him to know that there is need to pass the message down to their personnel that without an apron tomorrow, you should not be harassed. They should know that it is not a deliberate attempt from observers or monitors not to have an apron. It is the INEC, an agency that's failed to provide that. So if the message can go back to the rank and file, I don't think there will be any major problem. But until tomorrow, when tomorrow comes, we will know how prepared everybody is. We will know the risk, we will know the harassment, and we know the safety measures on ground.
We'll definitely.
We have also been provided with.
We'll definitely check back with you
to reach the
tomorrow, Mr. Loremikon, to find out how all of these eventually will pan out. But we have to go now. Shina Loremikon is a member of the Committee for the Defense of Human Rights. We're back with you subsequently. Thank you for talking to us tonight.